JN870C automatic CNC gear grinding machine. Manipulating video. The overall structure of the machine is reasonable. Its operation is easy and reliable. The grinding of gear is accurate and highly polished. The horizontal gear. Gear of right and left. Gear of 1 right and 3 lefts. Gear of 3 rights and 1 left as well as other gears come complete. 1 of grinding. Firstly, open the toolbox, take out the accessories. Secondly, install them. Install the work table, the saw blade to keep pressure on the cylinder, and the oil-water separator. Insert the outlet air pipe. Fill the oil cup with special cylinder oil or number 10 engine oil. Insert the input air pipe. Adjust the pressure value to 0.8 MPa. The sliding block of linear guideway shell. Be filled with the lubricating oil once or 3 times per shift. Thirdly, introduce the panel operation. The 4 main function switches are one-click start, pump switch, emergency stop, and grinder switch. The grinder switch is located on the side of the electric control box. All the motor control buttons can be operated repeatedly. Each time the red light is on, this function is activated. The stop button is used to control the operation of the panel program or the closing of other function buttons. The following is to introduce them from left to right. Single and double refers to the number of grinding times of each gear. The loosening of saw blade refers to one retractable action of each cylinder. Swing forward and backward refers to the angle switching between the left and right swing of the grinding wheel. Putter forward and backward means that the gear pushing needle moves forward or backward by 1 pitch. Grinding wheel forward and backward refers to one stroke forward or backward of grinding wheel. This machine is applied for the grinding and polishing for horizontal gear. Gear of right and left, gear of 1 right and 3 lefts, gear of 3 rights and 1 left as well as other gears. The following is a description of the specific operation steps. We take the saw blade with 100 gear as an example. The gear number of the machine is set to 4 Arabic numerals randomly in the original state. Press the greater than symbol button first according to the gear number of saw blade to be polished. At this time, the last order digit light flashes. Press the plus or minus button to the 0. Then press the greater than symbol button. The third order digit light flashes. Press the plus or minus button to the 0. Press the greater than symbol button. The rest can be done in the same manner and set the second order digit to 1. The setting of gear number is finished. The height adjustment of the gear tip is described below. Align 0 with the central datum line. Measure the height of grinding wheel spindle with a straight edge. Turn the hand wheel to adjust the lifting screw to make the work table align with the saw blade support column and the center of the grinding wheel spindle. It can also be adjusted with reference to the calibrated scale on the optical axis on both sides of the lifting screw. Finally, tighten the adjustable handles on both sides. The angle adjustment of gear of right and left is described below. Judge the degree of right and left gear of the saw blade. Take the saw blade with 7 degrees of left and right gear as an example. The first step is to lift the motor to the location of 7 degrees and align it with the central datum line. Then tighten the round nut at the top of the right cylinder guide post. In this way, the grinding angle on the left side of the grinding wheel is set. The second step is to lower the motor to the location of 7 degrees and align it with the central datum line. Then tighten the round nut at the top of the left cylinder guide post. The grinding angle on the right side of the grinding wheel is set. The following describes the tool setting of the interior angle of the gear. First, turn the hand wheel of the work table to back to a safe distance. The distance between the outer diameter edge of the grinding wheel and the support column must be more than 4 cm. Then press the bottom of grinding wheel forward and backward. At this time, the outer diameter edge of the grinding wheel is at the maximum stroke point. Press the bottom of putter forward and backward. Meanwhile, the alloy gear pushing needle is at the maximum stroke point. Moving the grinding wheel left and right by adjusting the hand wheel upper the motor to make the grinding surface of the grinding wheel and the tip of the gear pushing needle in the same horizontal plane. Fix the reducing sleeve of the inner hole of the saw blade on the sliding work table. Confirm that the gear tip of the saw blade is in the upward state and the default is the left gear, and mark it. If the gear tip is downward, it is the right gear. Place the saw blade on the work table disc. Loosen the set screw. Move the work table to make the center of the lead gear cutter head of the saw blade rest on the gear pushing needle. Tighten the set screw. Visually check the parallelism between the marked left gear surface and the grinding surface of the grinding wheel. Rotate the vertical shaft of the work table. Align the presser foot above the support column. Keep pressure on the saw blade. The pitch adjustment settings are described below. First, press the button of putter forward and backward. Retract the gear pushing needle to the middle of the first or second gear behind. Determine the position of the gear pushing needle by adjusting the pitch screw and tighten the nut. Advance of tool. Turn the hand wheel of the work table to move the saw blade forward. Also, take into account the grinding wheel motor to move it left or right. Prevent the grinding wheel blade from hitting the gear. Make the outer diameter edge of the grinding wheel cut in the marked left gear root. The best position is that the outer diameter of the grinding wheel covers the serrated alloy cutter head. Fine-tune the vertical shaft to make the grinding wheel fully fit the alloy cutter head. Tighten the adjustment screw of the vertical shaft, turning the grinding wheel by hand to make a hissing sound in the best effect. Press the bottom of one-click start to start the work. Points for attention. When the equipment is running, if the grinding amount of the right gear is large, lift the motor hand wheel accordingly. If the grinding amount of the right gear is small, lower the motor hand wheel accordingly. If the gear of left and right cannot grind something, it is proved that the center point of the gear of left and right is found. At this time, just adjust the hand wheel of the grinding wheel motor to increase the grinding amount. The following describes the tool setting of the external corner of the gear. First, turn over the grinding wheel and fix the grinding surface outward. Rotate the hand wheel of the grinding wheel clockwise To move the grinding wheel back left to the top, press the button of putter forward and backward. Make the gear pushing needle reach the top. Find the left gear of the saw blade to mark it. Install the saw blade. Then, learn the left gear against the gear pushing needle. In order to avoid the collision between the gear pushing needle and the grinding wheel when grinding the outer corner, we prefer to grind the gear on the gear pushing needle. If it is a saw blade with dense gear pitch, we can select the second or third gear in front of the gear pushing needle for grinding. At this time, mark the gear to be polished. Tighten the screws under the sliding work table. Rotate the vertical shaft of the work table to adjust the gear angle to be polished. Adjust the parallelism between the negative cutting angle of gear and the grinding surface of grinding wheel by visual inspection. Press the button of grinding wheel forward and backward to make the grinding wheel reach the top of stroke. Then rotate the hand wheel of the work table counterclockwise to make the outer diameter edge of the grinding wheel cover the whole negative angle of the alloy cutter head of the gear. Rotate the hand wheel of the grinding wheel and fine-tune the vertical shaft to make the grinding wheel and the negative angle of the gear fit together completely. Tighten the adjustable handle on the vertical shaft. Adjust the force point of the presser foot so that it is located above the support column and under the saw blade. Keep pressure on the saw blade. Press the bottom of putter pull forward and backward to move the gear pushing needle back to the next gear. Startup work. After the tool setting is completed, tighten the set screw or handles of all parts. So far, the machine has entered the preparation state. Press the button of one-click start. The work of the saw blade grinding starts. Press the button of a pump switch. Adjust the cutting fluid water nozzle to the alloy cutter head of the saw blade. It is forbidden to wash the grinding wheel directly with cutting fluid. Points for attention. When the equipment is running, if the grinding amount of the right gear is large, lower the motor hand wheel accordingly. If the grinding amount of the right gear is small, lift the motor hand wheel accordingly. If the grinding amount of left and right gear is uniform, it is proved that the center point of the gear of left and right is found. At this time, just adjust the hand wheel of the grinding wheel motor to increase the grinding amount. Signal lamp fault detection. The normal working state of the signal lamp is that the lamp is on when it is forward and off when it is backward. If there are abnormal conditions such as the lamp is not on when it is forward or not off when it is backward, it is necessary to adjust the installation position of the signal lamp.